2020 has been a very rough year for the aviation industry and the global economy. This is especially true for the AirAsia Group, the Malaysia-based budget brand, which some have been questioning its financial state. The questions and concerns have been further raised with the announcement that AirAsia Japan, the Japan-based subsidiary of the budget group, will be winding down and ceasing operations before the end of this year. We'll take a look at the closure of AirAsia Japan and what it means for the budget carrier group. While the decision to close AirAsia Japan may come to the surprise of some, there were some indications of trouble with the airline starting around last month. Some outlets reported that AirAsia Japan would be suspending flights on select days during the month of October. There was actually an update on the AirAsia news website, but the update was only available in Japanese. However, as the news made its rounds, AirAsia Group CEO Tony Fernandez denied the reports. Fast forward a few weeks later, towards the start of October, and there were already initial reports from outlets such as the Nikkei Asian Review that AirAsia Japan would actually cease operations. Later, this development was confirmed by the AirAsia Group, which released a statement on its official website. In a statement, the AirAsia Group cited the aviation demand downturn amid the coronavirus pandemic, with AirAsia Japan Representative Director and COO Jun Ida stating, quote, "Despite our unrelenting efforts to sustain operations through successive and wide-ranging cost reduction initiatives, we have concluded that it would be an extremely challenging feat for us to continue operating without any visibility and certainty of a post-pandemic recovery path." Besides the English version, there's actually an indication of when the cessation of operations would occur from the Japanese version, which states that the airline has informed the Japanese Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism that all routes will be abolished on December 5th. The decision to cease the routes operated by AirAsia Japan also concludes the second chapter of AirAsia's foray in Japan. In 2011, the budget brand entered a joint venture with Japan's All Nippon Airways to form the first iteration of AirAsia Japan. After the AirAsia Group backed out from the venture in 2013, it was rebranded as Vanilla Air, which would eventually be merged with Peach Aviation in 2019. The current version of AirAsia Japan was incorporated in 2014, with AirAsia Group holding a majority 49% stake in the airline. Joining the AirAsia Group for this venture this time around were other Japanese shareholders, including the e-commerce giant Rakuten, with a stake of around 19% in the airline. After a series of delays, AirAsia's next venture in Japan took off in 2017 with its base out of Nagoya's Chubu Sintra Air Airport. During its years of operation, the airline operated mostly domestic flights but also had international routes to Taiwan and South Korea. Of the AirAsia subsidiaries, it is the smallest operating one, with a fleet of 3 Airbus A320s serving around 485,000 passengers last year. AirAsia's presence in Japan, while ambitious, isn't really a big one, given the overall Japanese domestic air travel market, which serves anywhere between 94 to 100 million passengers or even more than that each year. That would make AirAsia Japan's presence around less than 1% of the overall Japanese domestic market, which is dominated by the Japanese brands All Nippon Airways and Japan Airlines, along with their budget subsidiaries Peach Aviation with ANA and Jetstar Japan, which Japan Airlines holds a major stake in. This problem has been further exacerbated by the ongoing coronavirus pandemic this year, as the airline suspended operations during the spring along with the other subsidiaries, and while flights were resumed in August, it hasn't returned to the levels that they would have wanted. With the decision to end operations, AirAsia Japan is the first Japanese airline to do so amid the pandemic, but even more so, it's a troubling sign for the AirAsia Group. After posting one of its biggest quarterly losses in August, the Malaysian budget airline supergroup is seeking around 2.5 Malaysian ringgit in financial assistance to weather the storm of the ongoing pandemic. This comes as aviation observers continue to point out the issues with the airline group, including the large liabilities, most notably the aircraft spread throughout the group subsidiaries, which individually have been heavily affected by local government travel restrictions, forcing a grounding of those aircraft. Along with the news of AirAsia Japan's demise, we are also getting some indication of trouble with AirAsia India and the announcement that AirAsia X, the long-haul arm, would be restructuring its business. If it's not clear already, it's going to be a turbulent end of the year and the start of 2021 for the AirAsia Group. In the meantime, I definitely hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Flights in Asia. Thank you for watching again, and have a great day.